Hi everyone, welcome to Small Time TV. This evening I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land, the Woi Wurrung Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nations, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and also extend a very warm welcome to any First Nations people out there listening live and streaming, and also here with us at Small Time this evening. Welcome to Small Time, Sarah Mary Chadwick.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, it's so good to have you here.
It's nice to be here.
You ready to play us a few songs?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
And this fits, and you know, and all the things that you were for, and I don't have a role model. And all the girls are fighting, and I grip it between my teeth. Remember our love fall, and every love hurts the same, but sometimes you don't touch anymore. And sometimes you don't touch anymore. I don't touch anymore. And my aunt was a nun, and what on earth does that mean? And you are milk and I'm undone, and all the girls are fighting, and I grip it between my teeth. Remember our love fall, and every love lasts forever, but sometimes you don't fuck anymore. I don't fuck anymore. And every love lasts forever, but sometimes you don't fuck anymore. And 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 sometimes you don't fuck anymore. Another? Well, I'm not allowed in heaven, and I'm trapped here by the sea, and I'm not allowed in heaven, and its gates do not open for me. Well, I see its lights shining bright, and they're waving at me through the trees. But I'm not allowed in heaven till I burn all the sin from me. Well, I'm not allowed in heaven. I got lied to when I was young, 'cause life's not about being happy, Sarah. Life's not about having fun. But I never could fill in the blanks then. And if not fun, then what is life for? And now I'm just endlessly searching without even knowing what for. Well, I need a promise of sorts, a guarantee something will change. But I'm not allowed in heaven, and no guarantees there, I'm afraid. Well, I see its lights shining bright, and they're waving at me through the trees. But I'm not allowed in heaven till I burn all the sin from me. And I'm not allowed in heaven till I burn all the sin from me.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Welcome to Small Time, Sarah and Mary Chadwick.
Thanks, Emily. Appreciate it.
It's so nice to have you here. So, you're obviously a Kiwi expat. Mm-hmm. Why the move to sunny Melbourne?
Two reasons.
Yep.
When I was a kid, everybody did that. And then I did the classic move to London as well.
Okay.
But also, my boyfriend at the time, Sam, who I used to play in Bat Rider with, loves travel. I fucking hate travel.
Yeah.
But he encouraged us to do it. Yep. Otherwise, I'd probably still live in
Yeah.
New Zealand. Tamaranui.
So when you say that everybody did it, were these sort of other bands, musos?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a well-trod path. Like, you go to Melbourne, you go to...
Yeah.
When I grew up in New Zealand, there was never any real expectation or reality that you'd stay in New Zealand. Like, yeah. I think it's probably different now, I imagine, but
Yeah,
definitely not at the time.
totally.
Because the internet happened.
Yeah. Hey, James, can you turn the reverb down a bit, if you can? And also, Sarah, would you mind talking into the mic?
Yes, I can
Just
do that.
technical things. That's great. Yes, we're settled in now. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Well, we're stoked to have you here in Melbourne. Like, selfishly, we'll obviously end up claiming you as Aussie, as we do. Like, everyone successful and amazing that originally like hails from New Zealand, we end up claiming. So, welcome to,
I've been here for ages. I've been here for like 17 years or something, 16 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't know it from...
Well, I'm 29, so it's...
So you're a multi-instrumentalist, visual artist. Do you have some sort of space or studio that you, treat as sacred, not in a religious way, but like, is there a space that you retreat to?
I'm like the church.
Yeah, exactly. Do you
No, I do most things at home. I actually did get a studio a little while ago and I never used it. It was basically a glorified storage space, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
I think we're having trouble hearing you, if you wouldn't mind.
I kind of work mostly from home because it's easy if I'm by myself.
Surrounded by the things that you know, love.
I just kind of work quite fast, so it doesn't really make much sense for me to go to another location to do an hour's worth of stuff every kind of fortnight. But yeah, I like my house though. It's pretty good.
Are you in Brunswick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very close.
That's great. So you've just released, or a couple of months in January released Please Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
So is that your sixth album?
I think it is I think it's the 7th studio one, maybe. Yeah.
7th.
I think because I did a couple of B-sides as well. So that I think it's number 9, maybe.
Okay.
Yes, I think the next one. Oh no, I think the next one's number 9. So yeah, it must be.
So that's like 8 in 8 years. Is Eating for Two the first?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was 2012.
Yeah.
They do have the most amazing names, your albums.
I didn't name Eating for Two. My friend did.
Oh, it's great.
I did the other ones though.
So Eating for Two, 9 classic tracks. Roses Always Die. Sugar Still Melts in the Rain. The Queen Who Stole the Sky. Please Daddy. I've probably missed a couple.
I think the B-sides are Hit and Miss and This One's For Me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, because people, describe your music as being raw and, dark and morose and painful. And it's funny, I have the opposite experience when I listen to you play. I really feel quite uplifted. And I don't know if it's because you tap into something that I relate to or whether it's because you're just so sort of quintessentially yourself. But I definitely don't have that experience where I feel in any way depressed or down. Do you kind of, write the songs with any kind of intention in mind or to have elicit a certain response, or are you just getting your own thoughts down? Or
No, I think if I'm I'd write definitely just for myself really, and I think I feel like once you do things and put them into any kind of public in any way atmosphere, then you lose ownership over it. So I don't really expect anyone I don't have any expectations of how people would interpret that. But I think if I'm not doing particularly well, I have been in the past a bit selfish about people coming up to me after a show and being like, "Oh my God, I cried." I'm like, that's my thing. But then that's obviously completely irrational.
Do you mean like that my thing as though like it's your music?
No, more like that's my feelings on it.
Yeah,
and like you can't encroach on that, but obviously that's irrational because you're like standing on a stage doing it. But then now I'm like I'm comfortable with people like kind of taking what they want and disregarding what they don't want from it. Like,
do you see your own music as particularly heavy, dark, overly emotional?
Overly is a strong word. I didn't say that.
I don't know if I did. I think I did. I'm not sure if I mean it, but
I mean, you said it. I think
it's just incredibly like sensitive and to the point, direct.
Yeah, I feel like it's like if you're cooking for yourself at home, you only just put in what you want. You know what I mean? Like it's not like it doesn't need to be. You're not doing it, and I think that's how I do it. Like there's no extra aspects for anyone else really, which probably makes it quite personal in that if other people pick it up, it's like something that wasn't really made for that. But I mean, no, it's pretty. I mean, I feel like it's pretty funny sometimes.
I think you're incredibly comical. Definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah,
Comical.
I mean, maybe, you're funny, but because a lot of what gets airtime, like on certain commercial stations or whatever, like sometimes the most sort of audible voices are the most common or homogenous or and you're obviously disregarding a lot of what's expected, in terms of...
I just feel like you got to hit your strengths, you know what I mean? Like if I could do that, I probably would do that, but I just don't know how to do that. So it just seems like, I'm not going to be an accountant or very successful anytime soon.
Never say never, Sarah. And what is success, actually?
Financial success would be quite nice at some point, but I don't know if that's on the horizon.
Because you work in hospitality, which you're quite vocal about, not necessarily liking.
Always mouthing off about it.
Yeah, bloody hell, Sarah's mouthing off about not wanting to work in hospo.
I actually don't mind my job at the moment, to be honest.
Yeah.
Work with friends, kind of zhuzh about a bit.
So, and that enables you to be an artist and...
Look, I don't mind working at all, so long as the people are nice. And at the moment, like I work with really nice people, and I've been a bit spoiled in the last couple of years of having lovely workmates, some of which are here.
He can't speak back, so if you want to say anything,
He's actually a cunt, so who cares?
So if you didn't have to work, like a day job, and do music full time...
I reckon, I don't think that the way that I work bears well under having more time. I think
that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I feel like if I had more time, I'd just, like, literally watch Peep Show again. Like, I think I've got the perfect amount of time.
Use of time.
At this point, it may be.
Yeah.
But I think I don't need more time to kind of do it at the moment. It'd be nice to like... No, I think like money is only a problem these days in terms of like being able to travel and stuff. Like I don't really like travel, but I think there's, because I've got an American label, like a bit of an expectation that you go there. And it's very expensive, and I don't particularly like bankrupting myself to do something that potentially my main joy is just doing it at home or just actually doing it. It kind of seems like you're spending money on someone else's party, which I don't mind doing if you like the person kind of thing. But you know what I mean? They're like...
Yeah. So do you only make sensible financial choices as far as...
No, I make terrible financial choices.
As far as your music goes, like are you kind of... Because you're self-managed?
No, Jules Wilson manages me.
Oh, she does?
Yep.
So Jules from Rice is Nice, who's your label, also manages.
And a dear friend.
Yeah, she's all right.
Hey, she's the best.
She is the best. So have you toured much in the States?
I did with Bat Rider and in Europe as well, but that was like pretty young in that we were quite comfortable sleeping on people's couches and stuff, and then them partying until like 5 in the morning, and then us being like, well, I guess we are too, and then getting up at 7 in the morning and being like, we're getting the fuck out of here right now, and then like loading, not saying goodbye, not leaving a note.
Just ghosting.
Because it was too stressful. Like, just like some people being like, yeah, have you...
So have you toured as Sarah Mary Chadwick?
No, not to New Zealand, but not overseas, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've got, like, it will be fun, but I don't know. Part of me is like, why don't I just say, this is such bullshit. Okay, say a tour costs 10 grand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't I just give 500 people $50 to put on Instagram that they went to it and that it was amazing? And then I don't even have to go.
So what you're saying is it's about the Instagram likes.
What I'm saying is I'm already getting my enjoyment out of it, which is in doing it, and all the other shit is ephemera, and I don't heaps like having to fuck with it.
Because some people have that drive. They want to get on the road. They want to play to new people. They want to, go new places. They want to keep playing. You don't.
I love playing, for sure.
Because in Australia, there's finite opportunities to.
I love playing. I'd play every week if I could, for sure. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, I'd literally play every night of the week if I could. But I don't. It's just such a lot of work for what?
To disseminate your amazing art.
Well,
I don't know. It's curious. It's a curious reaction because some people can think of nothing better.
But is it ego though? Like,
You tell me.
I don't know. Like most people are amazing. It's lovely to meet people all the time. I love
just playing in new venues, playing in new cities, playing to people who would potentially never otherwise be able to.
I mean, look, that's always nice. But then, like, it's always at the cost of your own life. Like, I've got a dog and stuff, and like.
They have dog sitters. I'll look after your dog.
You do not want to look after my dog. She's a fucking nightmare.
Well, someone else will sign me up.
I'm like, cool, Emily's got my dog.
My cat will.
You just find her on your doorstep in May when I go to America.
So you are going in May?
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. I always do it. I always
Okay.
do my chores, but I don't like my chores.
Okay. So we did talk before the session, and I asked you whether it would be okay if we touched on mental health topics and addiction. So I do want to just warn viewers and listeners that if either of these subjects about addiction or mental health are sensitive in any way, just to give you a bit of forewarning to tune out. But I feel like mental health and music need to be discussed more openly and more honestly, and I feel like you're very much doing both of those things, and I think that's commendable massively.
Good.
Even if it's painful. I don't know if it is.
No, I think because I've always been very depressed since I was a child, I think, and it took me a long time to find something that worked for me in terms of like therapy or treatment, and I've seen, I think my current so I see an alcohol counsellor and also an analyst who I'm taking a break from at the moment, but I think my alcohol counsellor is number 10 in my life, and I think just because it's been really difficult and it's really fatiguing for people to be disillusioned when they see someone and that person doesn't offer them much help or whatever, and I feel like people drop off and then be like, oh, well, that didn't work, so I guess I'm just fucked or whatever. So I guess I like talking about it a lot so that people know that it might take ages and there's lots of different things out there, and like it's definitely not one size fits all in any way, shape or form, and like it could be the style of treatment or it could be the person that you're seeing, and like people get quite there's a lot of barriers in terms of seeing someone for your mental health, which is ridiculous, I think. Well, not ridiculous, but
do you mean financial barriers or
like myriad, like I don't know, stigma and personal admittance and fear and all that kind of stuff. So I think that, like it should just, in an ideal world, which will never happen, and I don't really believe in, but like, it would be pretty chill to go and just talk to someone about your things. And
I feel like we're getting better. I feel hopeful. I feel like it's being spoken about more openly, and
I worry though because I don't really like psychology very much. But that's a big combo. We don't really need
the psychologist versus psychiatrist conversation, you mean?
More like psychologist versus like psychoanalysis. That's kind of where I'm at. But yeah.
But it's difficult because I do think about musicians early stage particularly, but all sorts. And, there's not a lot of money. Oftentimes you're paying to play in certain circumstances because you have to, by the time you pay like the venue hire, publicity, you're paying the sound person, you're paying the supports, like it's on and on. The costs are kind of endless. So the money's not really there. There's booze and drugs sometimes, and you're on the road a lot. And so the first thing to kind of, become, I can't think of the word, but,
precarious?
I don't know. Like it's a difficult situation. It's not often talked about, but I do think about bands that are starting out and even, more established bands. And
I do think it's problematic that alcohol is so ubiquitous in terms of doing music. I feel like venues should do things like if you are playing there, you could opt for a rider or you could get paid $100 more. Do you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't. I feel like alcohol as a leverage thing in terms of a gig environment is pretty problematic. Because like everyone's done it, like being like, oh, we're not getting paid, but we can get fucked up. Like that's not very good.
And if the rider's not good, you'll hear about it as well.
But also, like, imagine if you worked at a place and it was kind of like, we're not going to pay you, but like you can get like real rinsed. It's like that's not good. I feel like that probably is something that immediately should be remedied. Like,
so in terms of your, alcoholism or whatever you want to call it, do you call it that?
I'm an alcoholic for sure.
Yeah. So is that, is that part of your being a musician? Is that because you're a musician? Is that just
look? I'm like, how much of 5 years worth of intensive, the world's most expensive psychotherapy do you want in like 1 minute? It's because I over-identify with my father. I want to be a renovated version of my mother. Like,
okay.
Look, I just think that it's probably quite. I feel like venues should probably look at streamlining how they compensate people and like don't muddy the waters in terms of being like money and booze, and just be like, we'll just pay you, and if you want to get drunk, you can pay for it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's kind of like duty of care stuff. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's definitely part of it.
Yeah. I'm like, what is this sponsored by? Cooper's Brewery.
There is that.
Yes.
No, here, you mean? So I don't know how you measure success. You talked about financial success before, but if you were to give an early stage artist or emerging artist some, a bit of Mary Chadwick wisdom.
There's not much.
I don't believe you.
I don't know. I think I talked to someone about this. Someone told me once advice is for assholes, and I do believe that. But I was talking to someone about this recently, and I think like doing creative stuff is very difficult for lots of reasons. And I think, like, okay, so when I went to high school, I had like 6 friends, right? And I'm the only one without a fucking PhD now. Like they were all like, but they all just did their path, and it was streamlined and it happened. I'm not saying that they're like happier or less happy or whatever, but just it's logical and mapped out or whatever. And I feel like doing creative stuff, there's not that
linear.
Well, just there's no map for it, so you can't just be like, okay, well if I do this, then this will happen. If I do this, this will happen. But I think that's why it's important to put as few obstacles in the way as possible, because it is very fucking difficult. So I know, maybe like make sure you're around nice people, like live in a place that you like, I don't know,
Do you
just
love it?
doing what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a great time. Like, yeah, bits and pieces for sure, but like, no, I have a great time.
Yeah.
I mean, I like most things, but like, I think I have a good time.
Yep.
I have a few people's shares of good times. But yeah, I do think that's important. I think like if you're just making choices that make it as simple as possible for you to do, because like,
I like that.
yeah, I don't know. I feel
And
like
also like being around good people. Like, what's the point otherwise?
well, otherwise it's just why would you?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing else.
Yeah. And so you've just released your album. You're about to launch it
Yes, on Wednesday.
on Wednesday at Howler as part of Brunswick Music Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Disclaimer, I am the programmer for Brunswick Music Festival, but super excited, and you're playing with a full band.
Yeah, it'll be good.
It's going to be great. But quite a different experience. I haven't seen you play electric guitar for a long time. I'm used to keys or the organ.
Yeah.
That was a particular project. The Queen Who Stole the Sky was commissioned by
Did that
City of
in
Melbourne
New Zealand last weekend, I think. Yeah,
with an organ.
on the Auckland Town Hall organ.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty beautiful actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, again, I don't like travel, so I was like
Even back
walking
home.
around crying in a hotel room. But the organ was fucking beautiful. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
And then it turned around and it was fine.
Amazing. Well, it's so lovely to have you here.
Thanks for
We'd
having
love
me.
to hear some more music.
All right.
Sarah Mary Chadwick live on Small Time TV.
Well, I'm watching from the outside, feet frozen in the ice. Gotta wait for the sunshine, but what if that sun never shines? And at 15 couldn't shake the feeling life would never let my tears dry, and it's never let my tears dry. The only time that I was right. But oh, I can't see the light. And oh, I won't let you sleep. Let's fight until I feel alright. Well, I talk about my friends, but I can't see them. I don't know who they are, but I can see footprints and tire tracks from some car. And now that some family's back, it's got me thinking they left when I was hurt. 'Cause whenever I'm drowning, they disappear like fireworks. But oh, don't touch me, I'm alive. And oh, I won't let you sleep, let's fight. Will I feel alright? When will I feel it? 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 But oh, I'm not coming home tonight. And oh, when I walk, can we
Yay. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you very much.
So great to have you here. I forgot to mention, it would be remiss of me not to mention, it's the 8th of March. It's International Women's Day.
Yes.
What does it mean to you? Come to the mic.
Like, I'm just a people person.
Does
you
it
know?
mean anything? It's okay. It doesn't.
I mean,
It's nice to celebrate it with you, whatever.
I like it when people that don't get much airtime get pushed to the front, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Small Time TV. 11th of March, Brunswick Music Festival. Come see Sarah Mary Chadwick's launch with full band at Howler. Thanks so much.